So today our guest speaker is Sofia Kalhinsky. Hope I said it pronounced correctly. So just a brief info about Sofia. Sofia is a junior at Jordan High School and she has plenty of success in both academics and bowling. So she used the principles of meditation and the law of attraction in getting good grades like at 4.62 GPA and also won over $1,300 in bowling tournaments, which is very remarkable. So even though she had many successes, she believes that it is extremely important to remember the challenges faced all along the way. Throughout her journey of meditation, she learned the importance of many aspects of life that people have taken it for granted. Like, for example, how gratitude shaped almost every detail of her life. So today, Sophia is here to share with us what she learned about gratitude and how she used it to change her life for the better. So, Sophia, welcome to the Paima Youth. It's all yours. Over to you now.
Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. So I actually started meditating like not too long ago, a couple of months ago, because my mom, she actually introduced me. She started to meditate and she told me, "Oh, you need to do this too." So I was like, "Okay, well, let me try it." And I've been doing it. Maybe I've not been the most consistent, but I do think that I see good results. And I've also been reading like many of the books that she told me that do relate to meditation and law of attraction and all that stuff. And something that's very important to me is gratitude. And at first, I didn't know a lot about gratitude because I just thought, oh, okay, freaking like if you think about Thanksgiving, right? You just say, "Oh, I'm grateful for blah blah. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my friends." And even though all of this is true, I know it in my head, right? I never actually truly felt it until one moment, and I will tell you guys about this right now. Because you always think, "Oh, I am grateful for these things. These are so important to me." Like, for example, my life or my opportunity for education, my opportunity to watch movies, like even the most basic things. You can be grateful for everything in your life, but do you actually truly feel it? And you will never know if you truly feel it until there's a moment in your life where you feel gratitude so deeply, and from that you could either find a way to keep replicating those feelings or at least try to come close. So in the summer of um, before sophomore year, my grandma tragically passed away. She died of a heart attack. And I was obviously very upset. I was very close to my grandma and I cried so many times. I was in a very tough place. I had so much negative energy that it was just filling me, it was just consuming me. I was crying so much that my eyelids, they were just like all swollen. I couldn't even open my eyes. It was so bad. But then after that, there was this moment where I just felt so grateful because I kind of compared myself to her. I was like, this is how quickly your life can just go away. And it's just, there's so many things in your life that you could be grateful for that you take for granted. And that was the moment when I truly felt gratitude. And unfortunately, I have to say that after that, I did feel those intense feelings of gratitude, but to this day, I could not have gotten so close to that feeling, unfortunately. This doesn't mean that to experience the benefits of gratitude, you have to feel it as extremely as I have before, in that moment of intense grief. However, recognizing the fact that you can always be more and more grateful for everything will benefit you in your life immensely. So, a practice that I do to make sure that I keep being grateful is every time before I go to bed, if I meditate, maybe after meditation, or if I don't know, I'm too busy studying, I need to go to bed, I'm always make sure that I say what I was grateful for that day. And, it's always like some factors are repeating, like, oh, I'm grateful for my interactions with my friends, my parents, taking me to bowling practice, for example, or, saying stuff like, I'm grateful for, the good food that I ate today, or I'm grateful for my teachers teaching me new things and helping me in something, right? So I say all this gratitude. So even if I am upset that day, I still remind myself that, hey, maybe one bad thing happened, but everything else was so good. And I'm grateful for that. And that automatically, makes my day end up on a good note. And obviously, going to bed, you don't want to go to bed sad or mad, right? So automatically, your life is going to become better because you're going to sleep with that good energy in your head. And that's why meditation also works so well, because you have that good energy and then you go to sleep and you feel that. And then when you wake up in the morning, you still feel more of that energy. Okay. But I would also like to give examples of how, like, in my life, when I discovered the true importance of gratitude, how I began to notice people with such like of a big lack of gratitude. It was just so embarrassing to me. I mean, I decided later when I started to meditate and, got wisdom from different masters, I realized, I shouldn't let that affect me. I should realize that, hey, those people just don't understand how truly lucky they are. And maybe one time they will recognize that and they will become grateful. But for example, let's say in bowling, there's this guy who's very good at bowling. He had extremely high scores. And after he had this series of extremely high scores, he went to my coach and he complained. And he said, oh, because he didn't win some type of medal. He was like, oh, I had this high of a score, which was extremely high, but he was still expressing this lack of gratitude. So how can he possibly advance and become even better and reach the state that he wants to reach if he's not grateful for where he is now? I read this book called The Secret, and it talks about the law of attraction, right? And like a very important thing in the law of attraction is that you must you must think positively to attract positive things. So since he is feeling negatively and he's constantly sending out these negative signals, he's not going to attract anything positive. So if he was grateful, then maybe he would have achieved what he wanted to achieve even faster. And I go to Jordan, which is a very affluent school. There's so many rich students. And I think, oh wow, they're so lucky. They get everything they want. They get their designer bags. They get a car. They get this. They get that. But then they still show up to school and they complain and they say, oh, I hate my life. I have to do this little assignment. When there's students, I mean, no, not even students, kids in peripheral countries who just would wish to have a homework assignment, who wish to have an education, and they're over here complaining that they have to do some easy homework assignment, that they're tired because they decided to go and scroll on their phone in the middle of the night. That's this lack of gratitude. And because they don't have gratitude, they are not happy in general because they just think that what they have in life is not enough. And they're in this lack mindset, which also stems from that lack of gratitude. So if they were grateful, then their life would obviously become so much better because they would be happier because they feel like they have everything that they want, and they feel like oh, maybe they don't have it, but they could have it in the future. But what they choose to do is feel pity for themselves and complain about it to many other people. And something that's very important is that you will experience throughout your life people who are ungrateful. And something that I like to do is distance myself from those people. Because if you surround yourself with many individuals that have this negative energy just exuding from them, then it's obviously going to come to you, right? It's very difficult if you have, like, for example, have another example from bowling, right? I was bowling very, very good. Then I was on my school team, and no one practiced as much as me. No one put as much effort as much as me. No one tried as much as me. So they had way lower scores. They were way um, less skilled just because they didn't work on it. And the day before, I was bowling really well, and then I started bowling with them, and my scores dropped dramatically. And this just comes to show that when you're surrounded with negativity, it comes onto you. And it's very, very difficult to shield that and let go of it just because it's everywhere. It's like the majority, and you might be the minority. So put yourself in the majority. Surround yourself by people who are just as grateful as you, or even more, who can show you things that you want in life, or who have the same principles of gratitude as you, maybe, and that will allow you to continue to show this type of gratitude. So I've been talking for a while, giving my anecdotes and personal experiences and stuff like that. But the main thing that I would like to remind everyone is that gratitude isn't just something that you say, that you know, but it has to be something that you feel inside. And that's very difficult to achieve because it's hard to not take things for granted. Humans all have biases inherently. That's just a fact. Everyone has a bias, and everyone takes things for granted because maybe they just never experienced anything less than what they had. So how would they not take it for granted if it's normal for them, right? And then maybe they just don't experience ever in their life. They never have a downfall, so they will never feel that true gratitude. But a way to feel this gratitude that I find is when I think of something that I'm grateful for, I think of how it makes me feel as well. So an example of this could be like I had a really good score in bowling, and then I come home, and before I go to bed, I think, wow, I'm very grateful for that score. But I don't just think I'm very grateful for that score. I feel it. And how do I feel it? I feel the joy and the happiness that I had when I got that score, or that good grade on the test, or that good interaction with a friend. I feel that joy, and that creates this gratitude in me that is even more powerful than if I just think it. Because according to the book, The Secret, to be on that frequency with the universe, to be truly grateful, to have gratitude work, for everything to work, you can't just think it, you have to feel it. And if you feel that like warm feeling in your heart, that little tingling sensation, oh, this is working. And it's okay if it doesn't work every time. It's not gonna, nobody's perfect. But the more you start doing this, you will see your life change for the better. So I hope you guys really enjoyed my speech, but that's just what I learned in the past like couple of months about gratitude. Thank you.
It's really great, Sophia. Very informative and very thought provoking. So many things people, as you said, just take it for granted. But yeah, I mean, so one should really feel that to really experience it. So, and I'm
Hmm.
glad that like meditation is helping you in doing that. So, yeah, I mean, many of us think like, yeah, before going to bed, we have to feel great about today, what has all happened, but that consistency lacks.
Hmm.
People don't do it on a daily basis. Very few people could be doing it. Like maybe 1 in 100 would be doing like that. So you are really great in that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
friends. So I just want to keep this as informal as possible so that everybody can interact, can open up and talk. So anybody has any questions for Sophia or anything that's in your experience, even that can be shared as well.
Hi, I was kind of curious because I mean, you said you're like thankful for everything, right? Like for example, you mentioned about bowling, like how you're thankful for that score that you got. And it makes me wonder, do you ever get complacent because of that? You're like, oh, this is kind of enough for me. Like I'm already happy with what I have.
Well, I get what you mean, and that could happen sometimes, but I've never had that happen to me personally because something about gratitude, I mean, not gratitude, just something about like people I feel like in general or about myself. For me, it's like never enough. Like I have a hunger for greatness or for success. So I make sure that I'm grateful for every like little step along the way to that big success. And unless I reach like some crazy goal or some crazy like maybe my biggest goal in life, I will never be complacent because there's always stuff that you can do more. Or if I reach the height of like, for example, bowling, which will probably not happen because I don't think I will become some crazy pro, athlete or anything like that. But even if I did, I wouldn't let that stop me, and I would never like feel complacent because I would still, seek out other things, maybe new hobbies that I would try to be good at. And I feel like that just makes life interesting because being like making I mean feeling as if everything is enough is good, but also having that like little spark in your life and having that hunger to do more, I feel like that's just what makes life worth living.
Thank you for the great response. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Any more questions, masters? Anybody would like to comment, share anything? If not, like we can move to the next segment. Uh, Saraswati, who is going to do the meditation?
Yeah. Understood. Yeah, I have I want to ask one thing. Sophia, you're so happy after coming into meditation. That is what I understood. So, if you get a chance to help others, would you like to help others, being a helping hand?
Yeah, yes, for sure. I would like to help others. I do tell my friends about meditation sometimes, and I tell them like, "Oh, I started doing this and it really like helped me." But meditation and bowling, I guess, because I have to relate it to bowling, it's something in my everyday life, but it's very similar because like at school, I would, get like tell people, "Oh, y'all should do bowling. I won this much money. I got this place in district, blah blah blah." And they see it and they're like, "Oh, wow, this is really cool," but they never do it. And that's why I feel like it's very hard also for meditation to get people in because, you tell them, "Oh, I have this, um, good benefits from meditation, blah, blah, blah." But then they like see it and they're like, "Oh, yes, wow, this is really good. I would like to do that too." But they just don't have that discipline or they just don't have the time. And unless they want to truly do it by themselves, then I think it's like very difficult to convince them. But I would like want to help for sure.
No, that's great. Thank you so much.
Okay, let us start with the meditation. Let us all close our eyes, clasp our fingers, fold our legs, and sit in a most comfortable position. Let us take 5 deep breaths. Breathe in slowly and deeply. Breathe out slowly and completely. Let us invite the consciousness of Patriji and Swarnamala Patriji. Let us all visualize that we are sitting in a round circle connected with the group consciousness. Group meditation increases the power of meditation. We receive more energies, Let us observe our thoughts for the next 20 minutes. Let us observe our breath so we'll overcome our thoughts. Let us place our fingers gently on our eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let us open our eyes with a big smile. If anyone want to share any experiences, please do. Okay, thank you all for joining. That's it for today.
Sofia is here.
Yeah, she's still there.
I think she's in deep meditation. Sofia.